Hey guys, what's happening? This is Divyansh and a very warm welcome to all of you to the United Talk. It's the semi-final curse, isn't it? It's the curse of the semi-final because we played in the semi-final against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup and we lost 3-2 on aggregate, and we deserved to lose that game because City did play us out of the park that day. We lost 3-1 to Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, and we deserve to lose that game as well because let's face it, Chelsea were good on the day and we were just really bad in that game. We were just really bad. Against Sevilla in the semi-final of the Europa League, we lost 2-1. But here's the frustration. We didn't deserve to lose that game. We actually deserved to win that game. We created enough chances to win that game and we should have won that game. But we didn't. We did not win that game because of, for me, two things. One, shambolic defense, and two, a very poor bench strength. No bench strength at all. Let me put it that way. Because when the game started, the first 15 minutes, I thought we were really good. We were really good. We played some good football. We attacked them. They were on the defense. They wanted to keep the ball, but they couldn't keep the ball. So I think for the first 10-15 minutes, I think we were really good. We got the penalty, deserved penalty. We scored the penalty, and then we kind of moved away from the game. I mean, we kind of, I don't know whether we relaxed, we became overconfident, I don't know what happened, or they came back into the game. And look, we cannot say that Sevilla are not a good team. They are a good team, so you cannot just take your foot off the gas pedal, right? You have to keep going, you have to keep going. And Sevilla are a good team, and when they scored the first goal in the 26th minute, for me, Aaron Van Bissaka does not go with the man. Aaron Van Bissaka just gets lost in that give and go kind of football, right? Then Harry Maguire, if Harry Maguire is a fast defender who can run, he is able to get to that ball, slide it, and put it away for a corner. But he didn't do that because he cannot do that because he's not that fast. And there are some memes circulating on social media about Harry Maguire looking on the other side where the ball was actually towards the side of the goal. Now, make whatever you want of that meme. But the fact of the matter is, Harry Maguire is not that fast. And then Brendan Williams, when that cross came in, it was Brendan Williams' man to mark, and he did not. He did not mark his man. He let him go, and there was an easy goal to score for Sevilla. And for me, that's shambolic defense number one. We did come back into the game. Towards the last 5 to 8 minutes of the game in the first half, actually, we were again starting to play well. We came back into the game, and Sevilla wanted halftime to come before us. Halftime, I was talking to my friend on Instagram, and she said, "You know what? I actually want to see a goal scored by United, which is not a penalty, because we scored against Copenhagen in a penalty, and we scored a penalty against Sevilla." So she said, "I want United to score a goal, which is not a penalty." And you know what? Everybody, I'm sure all of you want to see that. I'm sure I want to see that. I want to see United score a goal which is not a penalty. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to enjoy the penalty, because for me, you get penalties when you play well. You get penalties when you actually make things happen inside the box, right? So, and there are a lot of people outside who are saying it's Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, whatever, etc. And for me, I don't even respond to those people. I just ignore those people, because for me, if the likes of Arsenal or Chelsea or City or Liverpool were getting so many penalties day in, day out, I'm sure they would have said the same thing which I'm going to say right now. You get penalties because you make things happen in the box. Look, if you have gotten 15 penalties this season, and I'm sure the number is a little bit different than 15, but if you've gotten that many penalties in one season, that means not all of them are wrongly given penalties. You have done something right in the box, right? So for me, what I told her during halftime was, for me, the point is the defense. The defense looks fragile. It looks brittle. It can break at any moment, and that's my worry in the game. And the way second half started, I actually forgot that statement of mine. I forgot what I said, because in the first 15 minutes, I thought we played the best football we've played since that Southampton game where we drew 2-2. We played so good, and I was sure that we would score. We would definitely score. This will be 2-1. I mean, look, Anthony Martial, three chances, he should have taken at least one. Marcus Rashford, the chance just before halftime with that Pogba pass. I don't know what's wrong with Marcus Rashford. Whether I'm sure he's not injured, because when you're injured, you can't play so many games with so little time between them. I don't know what's wrong with him. It's the confidence. It's the fact that before January, when he got injured, Marcus Rashford, a confident Marcus Rashford, is more frequent in taking those one-on-one duels against defenders. Right now, Marcus Rashford looks like a player who's scared to go one-on-one against people because he knows inside he might end up losing the ball. And that's my worry because Marcus Rashford just seems like a player who's playing within himself. I don't know what's wrong with him. Ole needs to look at this and sort this out. Ole does need to look at Marcus Rashford and sort this out. And Marcus Rashford needs to look into the mirror at himself and say, look, let the bygones be bygones. The new season is coming up. Let me be confident. Let me be the way I was before the last season started. That's what I want. But then even Greenwood had a chance to score. And if we would have scored all those goals or maybe taken few of those chances, we could have won that game 4-2, right? Let's say we win that game 4-2, for example. If we do that, that result makes us all happy. We play Inter Milan in the Europa League final. But for me, that result would have still been paper over cracks. And I say that because you look at that defense for the second goal. Brendan Williams should not have let that cross come in the first place. And that's fine. I mean, that's one mistake. And then when the ball comes in, there are three defenders. It's Lindelof, Van Bissaka, Brendan Williams. I don't know where Maguire was, and I'm sure he was around as well. There are so many defenders and only one attacker in the box. Van Bissaka does not follow the attacker, right? Because I think he thinks that Lindelof is going to clear this ball. Lindelof, when the ball comes, he's jumping in the air, he puts up his arms like this, sees the ball go. When you put up your arms like this means that you are pretty confident that there's no one behind you and you can just let the ball go. This is what he did, Lindelof. I mean, the first thing you're being taught as a defender in a school team is that when the ball is in the box, clear the ball, put it into the stands, put it out for a corner, for a throw in, or whatever. Just clear the ball. This is the defending 101. This is the basics of defending, right? This is what you get taught on a school ground. Clear the ball. So I don't care if Lindelof thought that there's no one behind him. First of all, that's poor positioning play by him. He should know who's behind him. He's playing at the top level. Secondly, there's no communication between Lindelof and Van Bissaka. Van Bissaka, if Lindelof doesn't know who's behind him, Van Bissaka should be shouting and saying, clear it, clear it, clear, or whatever it is. And the third thing is, if you don't know what's going on behind you, just clear the ball. If you're not sure what's happening, just clear the damn ball. He didn't do that, and they scored an easy goal. For me, that's defense. That defense is shambolic. And look, I said that there are two problems: defense, shambolic defense, and the fact that we don't have any bench strength because we've waited for what 80 minutes to get our first substitution in. And that tells you a story, doesn't it? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has twice now, once before the game and once after the game, has come out and said that he needs better players. And I'm not saying that this first 11 is not good enough because it is a good first 11. But the bench, the drop off is so big, it's huge. The drop off in quality is huge. I said this a couple of weeks ago and I'm going to say this again. You have the likes of Mata, you have the likes of Lingard, you have the likes of Pereira sitting on the bench. Why? If they cannot come in on the 70th minute when the team is looking tired because they've put in so much effort and they're not able to score a goal, if they're looking tired, if Marcus Rashford is playing the worst football of his life till now, I mean he's just 22 or whatever, but still, if he is in such bad form, why not substitute him? The problem is, who will you bring on? Do you think Jesse Lingard comes on and scores a goal? Forget that. Do you think one of Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira and Juan Mata comes on and makes a difference in the game? Because I don't think they do. Juan Mata might make a difference in a game or two, like he did against Copenhagen. But we are still playing Copenhagen with no disrespect. We're still playing Copenhagen only. So for me, these three players are comfortably getting paid around 350,000 pounds a week combined. And if they can't be trusted to come into the game when you need to change the game and you need to change something, then just sell them. Buy Sancho, buy Grealish or Van de Beek or anyone. And that's my problem with Manchester United board, and that's why I said what I said in the previous video, that it's taking a long time for United to do a deal, which they should realize, especially after looking at this game. They should realize that how important that deal is for Manchester United to do. And not just that deal, two more players, three more players maybe. I know they're not going to get three more players, but at least a Sancho, at least an attacking midfielder. At least a defender who's left footed, who's fast, at least them. And the irony is, there's a record which says that United are the best defensive team in Europe this season with 27 clean sheets. We've played 61 games this season, and we've kept clean sheets in 27 games. That's pretty good record. But that record doesn't mean anything, because if you put it in context, it doesn't matter how many clean sheets you keep if they don't come in a semi-final like this. It doesn't matter. What are you going to do with that record? The records don't win you trophies, do they? They don't. If you keep clean sheets till semi-final and just concede 3 goals in the final, that record of conceding only in one game doesn't make any sense, does it? And that's my problem with United. Look, there are a lot of things that can be said, and I'm going to say one more thing on this. Imagine this defense playing against Bayern Munich, who defeated Barcelona 8-2. Imagine these 4 people playing against those teams, that Bayern Munich team. They would have scored 15 goals against us. They would have scored 15 goals against us. I'm kidding you not. I'm not kidding you, really not kidding you. So, look, United needs to sort out these transfers of Jadon Sancho, get a Van de Beek or a Grealish in. I'm sure they're not going to get Grealish because he's too expensive, but at least get Van de Beek. I don't know why we're not linked with Van de Beek, because to me, that player is the perfect player for United. He's young, he's cheaper than Grealish. I would have preferred Grealish if Grealish was 50 million, but he's not. So now, if Grealish's asking price is 80 million and you can get Van de Beek in 40 million, is it a brainer? It's no brainer at all. And you do need a centre back, because right now in that team, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof walk into that team without any competition. Who's the competition? It was supposed to be Eric Bailly, but he cannot be trusted. It was supposed to be Axel Tuanzebe, but I don't know where he is. He's always injured. He's injured since past 1 year, and we don't even know what the injury is. There's no competition for places for either Harry Maguire or Victor Lindelof. And they walk into that team every day, no matter how bad they play. And that's exactly what's been happening. You need, and for me, the last thing I want to say, for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, while he needs backing in the transfer window, he needs to get players, and not just players for the bench. He needs players. Look, if you get Sancho, if you had Sancho in this game, I wouldn't start Marcus Rashford because he's not been playing well. So you need players like Sancho who can replace the not good playing Marcus Rashford in these moments. You need players like a Van de Beek who can come on in place of Pogba or Bruno if they are not having a good game. And in this game, you were crying out for a centre back who's fast, who's tall, who's strong, and who's left footed, and just play the basics, just do the basics of the game right. You were crying out for a centre back like that. And look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he does need backing in the transfer window. But for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I mean, he will be sacked next season if we are still trying to compete in the top 4, because Chelsea have improved a lot, City have improved, Liverpool have gone and bought players. So if we don't do any transfers in this transfer window, we see again Manchester United battling for the 4th place next season, and that's not good enough. And we are playing in the Champions League, so we're not going to win the Champions League. Then you're saying, all right, let's go and try and win a cup. And that doesn't, for me now, if you win an FA Cup without finishing in a top 4, that doesn't sound progression to me. And that's the big problem. Another big problem for me is Brendan Williams is 19, right? Van Bissaka is 21. Van Bissaka has had a very good season. 70% of the season is very good for Van Bissaka, right? After the lockdown, he's not been playing well. But before lockdown, Aaron Van Bissaka was arguably your player of the year, right? So a player who's playing his first season at United, who's young as 21, Brandon Williams is 19. Are you going to put all the blame on these players, or are you going to put the blame, you're going to point the finger at the likes of Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, who are supposed to be the senior centre backs? And one of them is your captain. Look, Bruno Fernandes was yelling at Victor Lindelof after conceding a second goal. Why was not that Harry Maguire? Why was Harry Maguire not yelling at his players? Why was he not organizing his players? It doesn't show any leadership on the pitch. Harry Maguire, for me, does not show any leadership on the pitch. And that's another big problem. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he needs to sort out Marcus Rashford and what's happening. He needs to tell the board to get him players in the transfer window. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to change the captain of this team. For me, Harry Maguire can still be a very good centre back. He's not worth 80 million. We all know that already. But we paid 80 million because we are going for these young English talents. Harry Maguire is not young, but English talents. So you can tend to pay premium for English talents. That's exactly what happened. Harry Maguire would have been worth 50 million, but we ended up paying 80 million for him. Aaron Van Bissaka would have been worth 30 million. We ended up paying 50 million for him, and that's fine by me if you're going for a player who's actually good. And no doubt that the defense has improved since last season. My problem is Harry Maguire is not a captain. He is not a captain material. Give the captaincy to Bruno Fernandes. Change it, because if Bruno, after coming in just in 6 months, can show leadership on the pitch and off the pitch, Harry Maguire can say a few words after the game. But Harry Maguire doesn't show any leadership on the pitch for me. Harry Maguire is supposed to be the person, because he's the captain, because he's the most senior centre back. He's supposed to tell Brendan Williams to do this or not do that. He's supposed to guide Lindelof. He's supposed to guide Van Bissaka for me. The guidance in the back four, that look, let's be together, let's maintain the line, let's be narrow, let's not give away any spaces. Where is this communication? I hardly see Maguire talking. I hardly see them talking. Bruno Fernandes talks more than him, and he's not even a centre back. He plays as an attacking midfielder. So for me, Solskjaer needs to sort that out. It's not a rant. I would have ranted on this video, in this video, if I would have made it just after the game. But I took my time because I was really angry, and more than angry, I was actually disappointed, because like I said in the beginning, we deserved to win this game and we didn't. So I think, what do you look forward to? You look forward to some players coming in, some real quality players coming in. For me, if they buy a centre back, if they buy Jadon Sancho, if they buy Donny Van de Beek, I will really applaud them. I will really stand up and clap for Ed Woodward and the Glazers. I would do that, because you see the requirement that we have on the pitch right now. This is a reality check. We've played so well. They were so enthusiastic about United progression. We've played so well. This unbeaten run, etc., etc. Lost only 2 matches in 24, 25 games. All that sounds really good. But you've not, I mean, you played the likes of Chelsea, Leicester, and Sevilla, and you lost 2 out of those 3 games. And that Leicester team was, by the way, like I said before, that Leicester team was not the 100% team. I mean, they had 4 or 5 players missing, didn't they? So a lot of things need to still change. There's still a lot of way to go. United need to start off at doing things in the transfer market. So let's see what happens, guys. Do let me know what do you think of the video. Do let me know what do you think of United's season so far. So far, I mean, the season is ended. So who do you think we should sign instead of Jack Grealish? Because that seems impossible. If you like the video, I would appreciate if you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And we're going to talk about transfers, a lot of transfers in the next month or so before the Premier League starts. So stay tuned.